that the overall length is going to be correct on these. So now in order to make sure this is going to be correct, I need to go back in here and I need to check the overall bullet length and the length to the ogive or ogive, as I've heard it pronounced both ways. I call it the ogive. First off, I have this Hornady overall length gauge. I've been using this for quite some time. It's really easy to use. You buy the cartridge that's the correct cartridge for it. You just take one of your bullets, stick it down in there, stick this all the way and seat it into the chamber. Once it's seated in, you're going to push this until it hits the lands, at which point you're going to lock this down, pull this out. This is going to stay behind. And then take your cleaning rod and carefully bump it out. And when I bump it out, it will fall out through the magazine slot, and I'll just catch it right there. There is no bolt, no bullets in it. So this is a 300 Win Mag Remington 700. I'm running a MDT Brownells chassis on it and a Fab Defense stock. So overall, I've enjoyed shooting the gun. I just starting to drop off on my accuracy, and thought that maybe this will bring some life back into it. I know it's going to help. It can't hurt. So one of the things I'm going to need, of course, is my digital caliper. And this here is set to where this will give me the actual the ogive where it hits, based off the this is for a 300 or 308 bullets diameter. So but I actually use this off to this edge over here to get my overall length, followed by then getting the secondary measurement. So the first one I'm going to do is going to be the Sierra Match King, the tipped Match Kings, 195 grain. I picked up this box, 500. Of course, I got them when it was hard to get, but so what I've done is I've gone ahead and I'm trying to get some of these loaded up to get them tested. So this will be the first one that I'll do. So it goes right there. I'll go ahead and angle this, because what I'm going to have to do is take my cleaning rod, run that down here very carefully, and bump it back out. Okay. So set that out of the way, and let's do the first one. So first thing we want to do, like I said, is run this up in here. Now at this point, all I'm doing is I'm actually going to hold on to the little knurled nut here, pull it all tight, loosen this up. While it's tight, I'm going to push this up as hard as I can with my finger, tighten this back up. Missing something, right? Now this has a cutout on this side here, and it's flat on the plastic, and the reason for that is to allow you to put this here. Like I said, I'm going to bring it to this edge here, just off at the edge, and this is 3.607. I usually try to let this rest a little bit and push it on in there. 3.607. Okay, And we'll move it over just a little bit and go in here. Bring this all the way up. 2.882. So that's going to mean that at a 3.607, it's actually going to be a 3.587 is what I'm going to try to set these up to be. 20 thousandths off. And then I did some measurements on this, and the second measurement is going to be off the Okie up there, is going to really be the one that matters. I mean, this at the 2882 is going to be 2862, and that pretty much is going to be all there is to it. At this point, I would pull back on this, take this bullet, set it off to the side. Okay, with it out of the way, the next step is going to be what? Of course, we're going to pick another bullet. So let's look at an extreme example here. This is a 225 grain ELD match. Okay, this one is a lot longer. I mean, this is just... So, that doesn't mean when it gets in here, it still may look long, but it's wherever it touches the lands, and then take 20 thousandths off. So I'm going to put this back in here, push it all the way up, make sure I'm loose on the knurled part, push that up in there, hold this tight, pull this out. I do not ever expect to see the bullet come out with it, the projectile itself. The projectile is not, it's generally just going to barely stick in the lands. It doesn't take much because there's absolutely no pressure on the sides of this. I mean, that's because it's made for measurements. So once again, we're going to verify we're still on 0. So this is acting a little squirrely tonight on me. So now that we're back on 0, I'm going to measure, look at that, 3.690. Okay, that's considerably longer, but 2.908 is going to be a 2.888. So as you can see, the other one was dropping all the way down to a 2.6. This is going to a 2.8, so it's considerably longer. Now the next thing I would do is I would go ahead, and I'm going to have to continue through these, but I'm not going to bore y'all with it, but I'm going to have to continue through them and get the measurements for the 208 grain ELD matches, 178 grain ELD matches, and I've got some 178 grain ELDX. Once I get all of these, then I will update my stickers here so that my different powders and the amount of powders and all, I can get all that up to date and see what I'm going to be shooting in these. And once again, this is a ladder test that I'm working with. So with the ladder test, it's not going to be something that I'm going to jump out there and go, oh gosh, look, I need to get this right now. This has to be the length that I need, so I just need to load up 500 bullets. I've seen people make that mistake. I learned that not really the hard way, because I didn't load too many of them, but my plan right now is I'm not going to load more than 5 of anything until I take it out and shoot it. And it's kind of one of those typical things. You're going to have a target out there. It doesn't matter. You aim to the center dot. I usually use a 1-inch dot, 200 yards. I aim at the center dot. It doesn't matter if it hits left and high. No adjustments will be made. I'm going to shoot all of the shots through there and see how they group. I'll measure the grouping. If the grouping is sub-MOA, I'll circle that particular load, and I have all my loads written down off to the side on my charts usually when I go out and shoot, and I'll have to shoot one of these and then upload the video on it. But I'll put the different weights out here, and they're all color coded, so in turn, once I get those out there that are color coded, I'll put colored lines through over here with a dot in the middle, and whatever color I'm shooting is the weight of the bullet that I'm shooting, so, and the different powder load. I generally have a separate target for each of the weights, but a different color for each of the loads that I'm testing. So right now I've got, as you saw earlier in my case, those are all loaded up for testing different weights and different loads. But that's your basic how-to on using the Hornady overall length gauge and the cartridge that is designed for it. Screw on the end here. These are adapter cartridges. I have this in 6.5 Creedmoor and in 223 as well. And it's been very, very nice to use, especially in the 223, where we've been able to dial it in and get our load much better, to where we're getting pretty consistent hits at 775 yards. So I know there's people out there going to say, "Oh yeah, we're going further than that," but it's more of a challenge shooting it than it is shooting this, especially around here, because it's hard to find the distance for this. Anyway, I want to get this set up, so as I set it up more, I'll try to get back with y'all, maybe make some more videos and put some different ones out there. Thanks for watching.